Welcome to the birth of aerial warfare. I'm diving into the most revolutionary decade in aviation history, the 1910s, where primitive flying machines transformed into deadly weapons of war. Subscribe and hit that bell icon for more legendary warbirds. This extraordinary decade witnessed aviation evolve from fragile wood and fabric contraptions to sophisticated fighters that changed warfare forever. World War I became the ultimate testing ground, pushing engineers to create faster, deadlier, and more maneuverable aircraft than ever imagined. From the first synchronized machine guns to iconic triplanes, these pioneers shaped everything we know about air combat today. Let's explore 15 legendary combat aircraft that defined an era and launched the age of aerial supremacy. Chapter 1. Blériot 11. The first warrior *. Imagine dropping the world's first aerial bomb from a flimsy wood and fabric machine flying just 100 feet above enemy lines. The Blériot 11 wasn't designed for war, but this fragile French monoplane accidentally launched the age of aerial combat. What made it revolutionary? Pure simplicity. Its lightweight design and reliable engine made it the only aircraft capable of sustained military operations in 1911. During the Italian-Turkish War, Captain Giulio Gavati made history by conducting the first combat reconnaissance flight, then days later, dropped 4 grenades on Turkish positions below. This primitive bombing run changed warfare forever, proving aircraft could be weapons, not just novelties. But deadlier machines were already taking flight. Chapter 2. Avro 504. The pilot factory *. Over 20,000 Allied pilots learned to fight and die in this single aircraft design. The Avro 504 became Britain's ultimate war machine, not through firepower, but by mass-producing skilled aviators. Its revolutionary stable flight characteristics and forgiving handling made it the perfect training platform when air forces desperately needed pilots. But this wasn't just a trainer. Early 504s struck the first blow against Germany, bombing Zeppelin sheds at Friedrichshafen in November 1914. With 8,970 aircraft built, it became the most produced machine of the entire war, creating the backbone of Allied air power. Every ace pilot who later dominated the skies likely cut their teeth on an Avro 504. Speaking of cutting teeth, the French were developing something far more lethal. Chapter 3. Marine Saulnier Type L. The bullet deflector *. Picture firing a machine gun straight through your spinning propeller. That's exactly what French pilot Roland Garros did, revolutionizing air combat forever. The Marine Saulnier Type L became the world's first true fighter by mounting steel deflector plates on its propeller blades, allowing pilots to fire forward while some bullets harmlessly bounced off. This crude but brilliant innovation gave Garros an unstoppable advantage, shooting down 5 German aircraft in just 3 weeks during 1915. His killing spree terrified enemy pilots who couldn't understand how he fired through his propeller. This revolutionary concept launched the era of dedicated fighter aircraft and aerial dogfighting. But when Garros was shot down and captured, the Germans reverse-engineered his secret and created something far more deadly. Chapter 4. Fokker Eindecker. The scourge unleashed * For 8 terrifying months, Allied pilots called crossing the Western Front, Fokker fodder, flying to almost certain death. After capturing Garros' crude deflector system, Dutch designer Anthony Fokker perfected the world's first synchronized machine gun that fired precisely between propeller blades. This mechanical marvel turned the Eindecker into an unstoppable killing machine, allowing German aces like Max Immelmann and Oswald Bohlke to dominate the skies completely. During the infamous Fokker Scourge of 1915-1916, Allied casualties skyrocketed as German fighters methodically hunted down helpless reconnaissance aircraft. This reign of terror revolutionized aerial tactics and proved air superiority could determine ground battles. But French designers were already crafting the perfect counter-weapon to break Germany's stranglehold on the skies. Chapter 5. Nieuport 11. The Scourge Slayer *. This tiny French fighter could outturn anything in the sky, ending Germany's reign of terror in just months. The Nieuport 11's revolutionary sesquiplane design, featuring a massive upper wing and narrow lower wing, created incredible maneuverability that German pilots simply couldn't match. Its lightweight construction and powerful rotary engine allowed pilots to climb faster and turn tighter than any Fokker. During the brutal Battle of Verdun in 1916, Nieuport 11s systematically hunted down German fighters, breaking the Fokker scourge forever. If you're enjoying this, hit that like button. This innovative wing configuration influenced fighter design for decades, proving agility could triumph over raw firepower. Meanwhile, Britain was developing their own Fokker killer with a completely different approach. Chapter 6. Airco DH.2 Britain's Pusher Predator * while enemies fired through propellers. This backwards British fighter simply put the propeller behind the pilot for unobstructed firepower. The DH.2's revolutionary pusher configuration eliminated synchronization problems entirely. The engine pushed from behind while pilots aimed their Lewis gun freely forward. This brilliantly simple solution gave British pilots their first real fighting chance against German machines. Major Lenoy Hawker earned Britain's first aerial Victoria Cross flying a DH.2, proving these unconventional fighters could dominate when properly handled. During the Somme offensive, DH.2 squadrons finally gave the Royal Flying Corps offensive punch, breaking months of defensive humiliation. This pusher design proved there were multiple paths to air superiority beyond German engineering. But by 1916, designers were perfecting synchronized guns that would make pushers obsolete. Chapter 7. Albatross D3. The Bloody April Slaughterer * During April 1917, Albatross DEs slaughtered 245 Allied aircraft while losing only 66, the most devastating air massacre in history. This sleek German Predator featured revolutionary semi-monocoque construction, where the plywood fuselage itself provided structural strength instead of just covering a frame. Combined with twin synchronized machine guns and streamlined design, it created an aerodynamic masterpiece that outclassed everything Allied forces could field. The infamous Bloody April became Germany's second reign of terror as Albatross squadrons systematically destroyed British and French formations over the Western Front. This construction breakthrough influenced aircraft design for generations, proving that structural innovation was as deadly as firepower. But while Germans perfected engineering, the British were creating something with pure flying perfection. Chapter 8. Sopwith Pup. The perfect flying machine * pilots called it a perfect lady. So gentle that novices could master it, yet deadly enough for aces to dominate experienced enemies. The Sopwith Pup achieved something no fighter had before. Absolutely flawless flying characteristics that made average pilots feel like experts. Its perfectly balanced controls and forgiving nature meant pilots could focus on fighting instead of just staying airborne. Squadron Commander Edwin Dunning made aviation history by landing his pup on HMS Furious, the first aircraft to land on a moving ship, launching carrier aviation forever. Against the brutal Albatross fighters, pups held their own through superior handling rather than raw performance. This masterpiece proved that perfect flight characteristics could triumph over superior firepower. Meanwhile, French engineers were building speed demons that prioritized power over finesse. Chapter 9. SPAD XIII. The speed demon * when Georges Guynemer dove his SPAD at 120 miles per hour. Faster than any German could follow. Enemies simply vanished in his gun sights. The SPAD XIII revolutionized fighter design by prioritizing pure speed and structural strength over maneuverability. Its powerful inline engine and robust construction created the perfect boom and zoom fighter that could dive on enemies, strike, and escape before retaliation. Guynemer used this speed advantage to score 25 victories, becoming France's most celebrated ace until his mysterious disappearance in 1917. During brutal dogfights over Verdun and the Somme, SPADs consistently outran German fighters through sheer velocity and diving performance. This speed-focused philosophy influenced fighter design through World War II and beyond. But Britain was experimenting with something completely different. More wings meant more climb. Chapter 10. Sopwith Triplane. The three-winged terror *. This bizarre three-winged fighter could climb so fast that German pilots watched helplessly as it soared above them for the killing dive. The Sopwith triplane's revolutionary triple-wing design created massive lift, allowing it to outclimb anything in 1917 skies. With three narrow wings stacked vertically, pilots enjoyed excellent visibility while gaining altitude advantage over every enemy. Naval Squadron 10 terrorized German formations over the Western Front, earning the nickname Black Flight for their all-black triplanes that struck from above like deadly hawks. Drop a comment. Which aircraft would you fly? This climbing superiority so impressed German engineers that they immediately began developing their own triplane designs. Meanwhile, Britain was perfecting something even more versatile, a two-seater that fought like a single-seat fighter. Chapter 11. Bristol F-2B Fighter. The two-seat Terminator *. This revolutionary two-seater could outfight single-seat fighters while providing devastating rear gunner firepower that made attacking from behind suicide. The Bristol F-2B shattered aviation convention by combining single-seat fighter agility with twin-gun protection, creating an unstoppable aerial fortress. Its powerful engine and aerodynamic design allowed aggressive fighter tactics while the rear gunner's Lewis gun covered deadly blind spots. After disastrous early losses from defensive flying, Bristol crews learned to attack like single-seaters, diving, turning, and striking with both forward guns and flexible rear armament simultaneously. This dual-threat concept proved two-seat fighters could dominate when flown aggressively, influencing multi-crew fighter design for decades. But Germany's most famous response to British innovation was taking shape, a crimson triplane that would become aviation's most legendary machine. Chapter 12. Fokker Dr.I. The Red Baron's final ride *. The most famous fighter in history scored only 320 total victories, yet Manfred von Richthofen's crimson Fokker Dr.I became aviation's ultimate icon. This German triplane masterpiece combined three wings with precise engineering to create unmatched maneuverability. It could turn inside any Allied fighter and climb like a rocket. Richthofen scored his final 19 victories in his blood-red Dr.I before his death in April 1918, cementing both pilot and aircraft in legend forever. Though only 320 were built, the Dr.I's incredible agility allowed elite German aces to dominate through pure flying skill rather than numbers. This crimson triplane became the most recognizable warbird ever, symbolizing aerial combat's romantic era. But while Germany perfected maneuverability, the Allies were mass-producing deadly efficiency. Chapter 13. Sopwith Camel. The Red Baron killer *. No fighter in history matched this lethal record. 1,294 confirmed kills, including the most famous pilot who ever lived. The Sopwith Camel became the ultimate German nightmare through its revolutionary concentrated weight design. Engine, pilot, guns, and fuel clustered together created incredible rotational agility but demanded expert handling. This vicious fighter could snap into turns that ripped wings off lesser aircraft. On April 21, 1918, Captain Roy Brown's Camel delivered the fatal shots that brought down Manfred von Richthofen, ending the Red Baron's reign forever. With 5,490 produced, Camels swarmed Western Front skies, overwhelming German fighters through sheer numbers and concentrated firepower. This mass-produced killer proved quantity plus quality could dominate aerial warfare. Meanwhile, France was perfecting their own mass-production masterpiece. Chapter 14. SPAD XIII. The mass-production Predator * with 8,472 built. This French speed demon became the most produced Allied fighter, equipping entire air forces with devastating firepower. The SPAD XIII perfected the winning formula: twin synchronized Vickers guns, powerful inline engine, and revolutionary high-altitude performance that let pilots dominate the thin air above 15,000 feet. American ace Eddie Rickenbacker scored 26 victories in his S-13, while French legend René Fonck claimed an incredible 75 kills flying SPADs exclusively. During the final Allied offensives of 1918, massive formations of SShes swept German fighters from the skies through overwhelming numbers and superior performance. This mass-production masterpiece proved industrial capacity could decide aerial warfare as much as individual skill. But Germany had one final engineering masterpiece that would define fighter perfection. Chapter 15. Fokker D7, the war's greatest fighter. This German masterpiece was so feared that the armistice specifically demanded its surrender by name, the only aircraft in history deemed too dangerous to exist. The Fokker D7 combined thick-section cantilever wings with perfect aerodynamics, creating a fighter that could literally hang on its propeller and fire upward into enemy formations. Its revolutionary high-altitude performance and gentle handling made average pilots dangerous and expert pilots nearly invincible. During the final desperate months of 1918, D7 pilots dominated Allied formations despite being hopelessly outnumbered, proving superior engineering could overcome industrial disadvantage. This perfect fighter influenced aircraft design through World War II, establishing the blueprint for all future combat aircraft. From primitive bombers to engineering marvels, these 15 legends launched aviation's deadliest century and changed warfare forever. From fragile wood and fabric machines dropping grenades by hand to engineering masterpieces that rewrote the rules of warfare, the 1910s transformed aviation from curiosity to civilization's deadliest weapon. These 15 legendary aircraft didn't just fight battles, they created the foundation for everything that followed in military aviation. Each innovation, from synchronized guns to triplane agility, pushed the boundaries of what humans thought possible in the sky. The courage of those early pilots, flying these primitive yet revolutionary machines, launched the age of aerial combat that continues today. Share with aviation enthusiasts and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching, keep looking up.